Cut your damn loss, you mother. Hello, nieces. Hello, nephews. It's your Uncle Charles here, and welcome back to my YouTube channel where we do unbiased price action analysis. FOMC. Holy moly. Did you guys enjoy trading that? Holy moly, that was incredible. Uncle Charles talked to you guys about this descending triangle pattern. I know this descending triangle pattern, ascending and all that happy stuff, guys, but overall the principle is all the same. A lot of those patterns, whether it's descending, ascending, the principle is the same, where it's consolidating. Whether it's a breakout to the downside or to the upside, we have to stay reactive. We have to stay unbiased, because it can go to the downside, and of course it can go to the upside. In today's case, it broke to the upside. I mentioned to everybody, I gave you guys the trade idea. If we clear 516, woo, all-time high and new all-time high was a possibility. As you guys can see, I have some new levels that I'd like to talk to you guys about. But man, I mean, look at it intraday. This was the interesting part, because last year and the year before, the market had a tendency where the initial reaction at 2 was usually the fake one, and the real one would come when Powell speak. And a lot of times when the real one, quote quote, would show up, a lot of time it was a reversal. But as you guys can see, especially in 2024, that the real move, it's not always a reversal. At the end of the day, we must stay sheepish and strictly follow the price action. You guys can see here on this line right here, let me change it to blue, right? This line right here, this yellow line right here, that's my 516 level. You guys can see on this candle, this 2 o'clock candle, we broke out 516. Boom, broke it out. Then what happened at 2:30 when Powell started speaking? It dropped a bit. It back tested that 516ish level as a support. It back tested. As you guys can see, it never closed below 516. After we cleared it, it never went back and closed below it. So what do I always say? We don't just watch the price. We want to watch the price action. Did the price break down a support? Did it recapture a level? What's it doing? What's the behavior? We cleared 516 at 2 o'clock, and what was the behavior? It back tested 516 as a support, and it found buying pressure. And then what happened? Boom, cleared my 518 level, previous all-time high. This was all alerted in the Discord. Cleared 518. Holy moly. And it kept on going up from there. All we had to do was play the setups, trade the setups, know the levels, and know the setups. Just trade it unbiasedly, upside, downside. That's all we had to do. Holy moly. Now what? Well, I got some new levels for us, okay? As you guys can see, we are in breakout mode. The 2024 uptrend, I adjusted a little bit. Starting from January 17th low to this time to February 21st low. And we had some more, a third and fourth touch here earlier this month. Okay, that's readjusted trend line. Now, the descending triangle pattern, we got the breakout. As long as above 516 to 515.8-ish, we are in breakout mode. Bullish, okay? Now, the fib level starts from March high, and I connect it down to March 15th low. By doing so, it gave me some fib extension levels to the upside. So if we're going to new all-time highs, now Uncle has levels to watch. Okay, so the market bounce, where did it pause at? At the 1.236 fib level, which was at 520.5. It's gapping up right now in the aftermarket. And the next fib level is at 522. Above that, it's 523.2, 524.4, 526, and then 528.3. Those are the fib extension levels that I will be watching and referencing for tomorrow if the market decides to continue on upwards. As far as support goes, the critical support to watch is now, I'll watch 520, but the critical one is at 518, okay? That was the previous all-time high, and that's what we broke out today. We made a new all-time high by clearing that high. So if we break back below 520 and 518, that's a potential false breakout setup, putting 516 and 514 back in play. And as far as the 2024 uptrend line, it's around 514, okay? That's one of my new fib levels. Below 514, then maybe I would be bearish in favor that SPY will go in correction mode. As long as above that, no correction mode just yet. Okay, guys, do we have the bull case? The bull case, if we clear 520.5 and 522 to trigger more upside to those next fib extension levels. And of course, I wouldn't get bearish unless we get a false breakout setup, breaking down 518 and 516, and especially 514. All right, here is triple Q. It did manage to clear that 439 level, and it's around 446 as we speak. 446.5 is the next resistance level at 448 and 450 above. We could go hit all-time highs. For me to favor, we don't hit all-time high. We got to break down support. Starting with 445, 443, of course. That's the level we cleared today on the daily chart. So we break down 443. It could be a false breakout setup on the daily chart. And we could head down low to 441, 439, and 437-ish, guys. Holy moly. Yeah, NVDA didn't break out its triangle pattern. Actually, it's a little messed up right now. Let me just fix it. There we go. Yeah, it's fixed. All right, cool. So yeah, breakout mode. It would need a breakout of 908, 905, and 908. It's around 909 in the aftermarket. Something causing it to pop in the aftermarket. But overall, above 908 is bullish, guys. Breakout mode of this triangle pattern. With next resistance at 915, 920, 923.5-ish in play. Okay, below 908, maybe we be bearish. I would not quite bearish, but maybe, because that would deny the breakout, but it will have to show follow through and break down more support levels. 900, 898. I have a fib level 892.2. Those levels must fail to trigger some downside. Okay, here is Tesla. We had an inside candle setup. It did break out 175, trying to gap up now. Next resistance at 178.5 and 180. Those levels must clear to trigger more upside. Okay, for me to be bearish, it's gonna have to break back down 175. If it doesn't, then I'm gonna stay bullish. But if it does, could be a false breakout setup, and then I'll play it to the downside. IWM, it cleared that 203 level. Holy moly, now it's around 207.2. Next fib level's at 207.5. If it clears 209, 210.5 or higher, it will be in play. Okay, can't get bearish unless we get a false breakout setup. So it's gonna have to break down 206 and 203 for me to favor some downside, guys. Apple broke out that 176.5 level. Closed today around 178.6. Not bad. It's gapping down a little bit, but it has to stay above 176.5 to defend the breakout. Okay, next resistance at 178 and 179.2. Those levels clear. We are popping up to the upside. Where's the 50? Look at that. Had that little crossover thingy that people always claim to be bearish. Every time we have one of these crossovers, the market don't even be bearish. It bounces. Whether it's a relief bounce or what, but that's usually what happened. Anyways, like I said, can't get bearish unless we break down 176.5 and 175. All right, if we break out 178 and 179.2, bullish. AMD got a nice bounce. It dropped intraday. I have a fib level around 173.5-ish and went down to 174. Didn't quite hit the fib level, but it bounced. If it wants to show follow through, it's at 182 right now. 183 and 185 are the next resistant levels. Those levels must clear if it wants to go fill the gap around 190-ish. All right, to be bearish for a dead cat bounce, needs to break down 180 and 176 to trigger some moves back to the downside. And Amazon bounce, cleared that 177 level as long as above 179, 180.2, 181.3, and 183 are all in play. For me to be bearish, it's got to break back below 177 and 175.3, and then maybe that would trigger some puts. All right, Netflix, it bounced as well, cleared that level around 625-ish and 624. All right, next resistance at 629.5. It's actually gapping above that. So if it can stay above, 632 and 636.8 are in play. All right, I wouldn't look to short unless we break back below 625.5 and 624. Google trying to bounce, but if it wants to show follow through, it's going to have to do more than what it did today by clearing 150.4 and 153. Those levels must clear if it wants to be bullish. If it wants to be bearish, break down 149 and 147 and that should allow us to go fill the gap around 143-ish. Microsoft, clear the fib level. That fib level was at 424. The next fib level is at 426.4-ish. It's actually gapping above that. So next resistance at 428 and 430. If those levels clear, guys, don't argue with the price action. We're going up higher. I wouldn't look to short unless we broke down 424, and that would put 421 or lower back in play. Here is Meta. It also tried to go for the bounce. 505.4 was a fib level. That's where it paused at, but it's trying to gap up in the aftermarket. Okay, so yeah, next resistance at 510, 512, and 513.5. If those levels clear, we are heading up higher. I would not look to short unless we get a false breakout, which means we need to break down a bunch of support levels. Break down 505.4, 504. The big level it needs to break down is 499.7. If we break those down, then I'd be bearish. And Bitcoin got a big bounce. It's trying to recapture. It has 27 minutes left on this candle as of recording this. If it can recapture 67.1K, that would keep 69.3K in play. It's trying to do that right now. And if we clear 69.3K, guys, it's possibly a bottom is in. We're likely going to test 71.7K. That will be a battle there possibly. But if that doesn't defend as well, we're likely going to a new all-time high. For me to be bearish, it's going to have to break back below 67.1K and break back below 65.4K. And then I would favor a deeper correction to the upside. For all we know, this could be a dead cat bounce, you know, like some type of A, B, C correction to the downside. That remains to be seen. But remember, follow the price action. Here is DARKPOOL. 63% of activity came in at 515.8. Wow, 3.1 billion in premium. That's a lot. It was actually more than that, but that's a lot. We also had 1 billion in premium at 520.4. You guys can use those levels as support resistant levels as well. Okay, just label it DARKPOOL level so you know the difference. And here is the SPY. We'll filter for 100K premiums or above. And for some reason, it's still bearish. For some reason, it's still bearish. I don't know who's buying puts right now, but it looks like they're getting smashed. I would have to, like, you know, look deeper into these contracts, but that would take me some time, and my video would be too damn long. But as of right now, that's what it's showing me. That is bearish. Triple Q doesn't agree, though. It's bullish. IWM is bullish. Tesla is bullish. Apple is bullish. AMD is bullish. Amazon is bullish. No one's calling a top. No one trying to buy a top. None of the big money players. Goodness. Google. Okay. Well, it's block orders. It's block orders. Not that aggressive. Google with the L is bullish, though. Microsoft is bearish. That's something worth noting. And we are seeing some sweep orders. Some above. Interested. Mostly bearish. And Meta's bullish. Okay. And look at some stocks that can represent Bitcoin, like Beto or Mara. Some crypto stuff, you know. Or how about Coin? And there you go. And last but not least, before I go, I'm going to cover this. This is for a viewer that's been requesting this. Don't say uncle don't love you. MSTR. Let's take a look at this. Okay, so I do have fib levels set up. I don't have it properly on, though. Let me redo this. Okay. Let me bring this here. Okay, so I have it at, what date is it? March 15th high, which is at 1815. Let me get the coordinates correct. And then I have 1230.12 as the low on that candle. All right, so now my fib's correct. Today it managed to, holy moly. What is my viewer having me look at here? This is a crazy move in stock. Why is it not a reverse split? It cleared a fib level today, the 50% fib level, which is at 1522. It's around 1608. Gap up. I do have a fib level at 1591.5. So if this gap up wants to stay bullish and not be a gapping crap, it would need to defend 1591.5 on any pullback. And there is a resistance at 1620, 1621. I'm around at 1621. If 1621 clears, it's a big possibility we could pop all the way up to 1689. I'll round it to 1690, possibly a little higher than that. This is a very crazy stock. If 1591 doesn't hold, it's very likely we go drop down to 1545, maybe back down to 1522. And below 1522, I would definitely be bear bias. All right, guys, this is for my viewer that been asking. Uncle was not having a good day yesterday, so I apologize. You know, I recently lost a very important family member of mine, and I just haven't. I've been struggling. You know, Uncle claims to be a sheep, but I'm just a human. So I hope that I was able to help you out with this. All right, thank you. Peace.